It starts with silence, an empty parking lot where laughter used to echo, where neon signs once lit up Friday nights, and where entire families spent their weekends. Now, all that's left are broken escalators, dust-covered mannequins, and the ghosts of a middle-class dream that vanished without a sound. But here's the question. How did the most powerful country on earth lose its malls, the heart of its social life, almost overnight? Was it just online shopping? Or something far darker, something buried deep inside America's collapsing middle class? Stay with me, because what you're about to see will change how you look at every for lease sign you've ever passed. And before we begin this journey through the ruins of the American dream, make sure to subscribe, because the truth we uncover here won't stay hidden for long. It begins slowly, almost quietly. A few empty stores here and there, a closing soon banner hanging from the glass, a few bored security guards pacing through wide, silent hallways. Then, one day, you walk into your favorite mall, and it's gone. Lights off, fountains dry, the air heavy with the smell of dust and decay. For decades, these malls were the center of American life, places where first dates happened, where teens worked their first jobs, where families walked hand in hand under glowing skylights. And now, they're vanishing, one by one. But why? What really happened to America's malls? Everyone loves to blame Amazon, right? Online shopping took over, they say. But that's only part of the story. Because this collapse started long before you ever clicked Add to Cart. Back in the late 1990s and early 2000s, corporations built malls faster than people could visit them. Over 1,500 malls spread across the country. Massive, glittering, air-conditioned monuments to consumption. But something else was happening too. Wages were stagnating. Families were drowning in debt. The middle class, the engine that kept those malls alive, was quietly falling apart. You see, malls didn't just sell clothes and shoes. They sold belonging. They sold comfort. They sold the illusion that life was stable and the future was bright. But when people stopped being able to afford that illusion, everything started to crumble. And that's where the real story begins, not with Amazon, not with technology, but with money. By the mid-2000s, household debt had exploded again. Student loans, credit cards, car payments, it was all too much. Families couldn't afford weekend shopping trips like they used to. The middle class wasn't shopping anymore because they were surviving. And then came automation, stores cutting staff, machines replacing cashiers, and online systems replacing local jobs. One by one, malls became ghost towns. But here's the darker part. Many of these empty malls didn't just vanish quietly. They became shelters, drug havens, and abandoned landscapes where poverty met silence. Entire communities built around these malls collapsed too. Local restaurants, small-town stores, nearby schools, all gone. Malls were never just buildings. They were a reflection of economic health. And when the heart stops, everything else follows. Even the big names couldn't survive it. Sears, Macy's, J.C. Penney, Toys R Us, all of them closed thousands of stores. Some of these companies had survived wars, depressions, and recessions. But they couldn't survive a new kind of crisis, the silent collapse of the American middle class. Because it wasn't just about money. It was about identity. For decades, malls represented what America believed about itself: abundance, comfort, unity. And now, those glass doors are locked, and the closed forever signs are reflections of something deeper, a broken dream. If you drive across the U.S. today, you'll see what I mean. In Ohio, old shopping centers covered in graffiti. In Texas, giant parking lots cracked open like dry earth. In California, half-demolished food courts filled with birds instead of people. It's haunting and symbolic, because when malls died, it wasn't just retail that ended. It was a culture, a rhythm, a shared heartbeat. And the irony? The billionaires who built this system, who outsourced jobs and squeezed wages to make record profits, they never left. They simply moved their empires online. They turned the destruction of the mall into the rise of the warehouse. The workers who once smiled behind the counter now pack boxes in silence under fluorescent lights, with no weekends, no smiles, and no hope for promotions. So yes, Amazon changed everything. But the system that allowed Amazon to take over, that's what killed America's malls. It was greed, not innovation. It was inequality, not progress. And now, with artificial intelligence automating entire industries, the pattern is repeating itself. The same corporations that hollowed out Main Street are now hollowing out digital space, creating a future where fewer people own everything and everyone else struggles just to survive. The ghost malls of America are not just relics of bad business decisions. They are warnings. Silent monuments to a system that values profit over people. And if history has shown us anything, it's that when the heart of the middle class stops beating, the entire nation soon follows. Every abandoned escalator, every cracked tile, every flickering light in those empty buildings tells the same story, that something broke long before the lights went out. And as we stand here, watching the next economic shift unfold, we have to ask ourselves, what will vanish next? The malls are gone. The jobs are gone. The stability is gone. It's strange, isn't it? How something that once felt so permanent, so alive, could just vanish. The malls were never just about shopping. They were about people, laughter, connection, a sense of belonging. And now, all that's left are echoes of what used to be. Maybe this isn't just about buildings closing or stores going bankrupt. Maybe it's about how we, as a society, forgot what really matters: community, balance, and humanity in a world that became obsessed with convenience and profit. When you think about it, those empty hallways and silent food courts are mirrors of something deeper inside us. How we traded real life for screens, real connection for transactions. The malls are gone, yes, but maybe they're reminding us of what we lost along the way. And before we move further into a future ruled by AI, algorithms, and automation, we should ask ourselves, will the next collapse be physical or human? If you felt that, if you believe stories like this matter, then make sure you subscribe, because what's coming next will make you question everything we think we know about the world we're building.